Hi, everybody, back again with another episode of Kahin Kisi Roast. And we don't have Manushi here with us today, but we have Antara. Manushi was busy. She's moving homes, guys. So she's out today, but Antara and I decided that we're going to still go ahead and record. And here we are. So, Antara, what are we going to talk about today in the big bad world of Hindi serials?
I think we are going to focus today on the quintessential ITV hero and all the traumas that this poor guy has had in his life that makes him what
So all this trauma, guys, is literally the excuse for them being the way they are. They're mean, they're rude, they're arrogant. You know, the tall, dark, handsome, arrogant guys from Milton Boone. For all the trauma, all the backstory that they are given is an excuse for them to be how they are. And then the woman has to enter their life to change them. So the job of the woman is to change the man. It doesn't vary across the serials. It doesn't vary. Antara, what was the first serial you saw where the guy had childhood trauma?
Oh my God. The first one that strikes out, and it will be remembered as one of the classics. All girls loved him. The original bad boy, Sujal Garewal of Kahi To Hoga. Rajiv Khandelwal, he was such an eye candy, and because he was mean, he was rude, but he was a intense lover. He just went after the girl, and then he would do all these things that would land him in jail, the kind of stunts he would pull to get the girl, would land any other person in jail, but
not him.
But
because underneath all that, he's such a nice guy. He's golden.
Because he loves her. So he did it because he loves her. That's how he shows his love. It's because his dad, he never had a good relationship with his dad. That's why his mom is nice. He lives with a whole as joint family. But no, it's only his dad that defined his whole, whatever the problem was. And he this guy, the kind of stuff that he did, and he was a craze. I tell you, even before that, we had Mama's Boy kind of heroes. They didn't have trauma. This was the bad boy, Sujal Garewal. This was the bad boy.
So I have to tell you which. I have to tell you which serial it was that I watched first, where I realized this formula for heroes to be, the Hindi serial heroes to be arrogant and mean and downright obnoxious people, but with a backstory of trauma. The first one was, what's it, Barun Sopti serial?
Is Pyar Ko Kya Naam?
Is Pyar Ko Kya Naam? Arnav Singh Raizada.
Oh my God.
The guy was a downright villain. He threw her from the second floor or some crap like that. He literally damaged her. He damaged her reputation. Anywhere else, that guy is not the right guy. But here, he has the entire excuse is his childhood trauma.
It was started off as a Ekta trope for some of her shows. She would have these young guys, there would be a slightly older generation of leading heroes like Rondit Roy and people who were nice guys. They didn't have trauma, but they had their family was problematic. So when you obviously the woman has to change the family, but then she would have these slew of young actors who she wanted to portray as this angry young man. So Sujal Garewal, Angad Khanna, yeah. Iqbal Khan, Karan Kundra started off like that with her Kitni Mohabbat.
Tell me one story right now that doesn't have the childhood trauma. One story where the hero doesn't have childhood trauma. Let's start.
Ranbir Kohli of Kumkum Bhagya does not have childhood trauma, but his life is traumatic now. So
the guy doesn't have a spine. If he doesn't have childhood trauma, he doesn't have a spine.
Yeah, the guy doesn't know. The only way to have a spine is to have childhood trauma. If you don't have childhood trauma, then you're a spineless mama's boy. Like these are the
Okay.
only two categories you can exist.
Then Meet Halawat of Meet doesn't have childhood trauma, but he's crazy. He doesn't think through stuff before he acts. So he brings to himself the trauma, and his wife left him, and now he hates her. And it's literally funny. The loopholes are so funnily written that the loopholes are big. You can see them. Oh, glaring. Listen, somebody, you're a cop. The woman is a cop. Somebody steals you, kidnaps your child. What's the first thing you're gonna do? Track that person, figure out their phone numbers, where they go.
Why would you go into hiding?
You're not gonna disguise yourself with long hair as a garba dancer and then enter their lives to figure stuff out. I mean, literally no, but they will do it. But okay, so that's another guy. But rest, everybody has childhood trauma. Abhimanyu,
yeah, he has
childhood trauma. Then who else? Anuj has childhood trauma. Then who else?
But I don't think he reacts like he's, again, like there's a different, like I said, like it varies with generation. If you're an older guy,
then you kind of sorted it out.
Yeah, you're gonna be a nicer, like you're gonna be a nicer person without trauma, because you're already at that age where you're giving other people trauma. So that's the thing. But that's the thing that sells. And Gul Khan has made a fortune out of making these heroes. You said Is Pyar Ko Kya Naam Do? That was her prototype. And every other show she has produced.
Have you watched Ashikana? That is such an obnoxious story. That's such an obnoxious plot. And it's the same as a guy with a childhood trauma, with a very narrow-minded grandmother and drama. Literally, where the girl is this bubbly. It's a template. Every Gul Khan show, it's a template. The girl is the same in every Gul Khan show.
Ishqbaz, like her most popular show. Shivai Singh Oberoi, kya childhood trauma hai tera yaar? You grew up like the eldest son of like an empire and all that. Usme he's just arrogant for the sake of being arrogant. He, like, the kind of stuff he did, but why chemistry, this sells, like, this angry young man look sets. That makes them like desirable. Ab kabhi bhi, if you find the list of like top 20 desirable men in TV, यही लोग होंगे जो who have acted in roles like so that's
okay. Okay, question to you. What's the best childhood trauma guy? What's the worst childhood trauma guy? Answer.
Childhood trauma तो घुमा फिरा के एक ही होता है इनका कि मम्मी छोड़ के चले गए. Mummy was a cheater. Papa
was a cheater. Papa had an affair.
Papa stays with mom, choose to stay with Papa despite having an affair. So that's like,
or Papa has moved on and married somebody else.
हाँ, तो trauma तो यही हाँ, बस यही trauma हो सकता है. That's the only trauma that they know. Like, it's never कि oh कोई मुझे, like, I was abused as a child या इस type का कुछ. They never go towards that.
नहीं, उसकी pristine श्री राम वाली image hurt नहीं हो सकती. वो कुछ भी करे, वो murder करे, वो औरत को mistreat करे, औरत को stalk करे, वो still hero है.
Forcefully गुल खान का show हो और first शादी forceful नहीं हो, ऐसा हो सकता है. मजा ले कि हीरो ने forcefully heroine से शादी नहीं, उठा के लेके मतलब physically उठा के उसको लेके उसको, they'll finish the wedding rituals and then woman
को blackmail करके शादी करो and it's convenience, then they fall in love. Please, for God's sake, कैसे लिख लेते हैं आप लोग ये सारा ड्रामा? तंग आ गए देख कर. आप लिख कैसे लेते हो वही सारा टेम्पलेट बार scary. It's scary that stalking is idealized. बंदा औरत के प्यार में उसे stalk कर रहा है, वो ठीक है, उसकी मर्जी कुछ मतलब ही नहीं रखती.
I think कुछ they try to start again, like I said, अगर आपका trauma नहीं है और आप normal हो तो फिर आपकी family evil होगी, शादी के बाद पता चलेगा. You are a mama's boy. दूसरा है कि आप बदतमीज हो. ये एक ऐसा अजीब सा शो मैंने देखा था, again, like I don't remember क्यों मुझे नाम नहीं याद आ रहा अभी. जैसे ये बनी चाह होम डिलीवरी है, again, like हीरो बहुत ही सेम सा नहीं है. उसका ट्रॉमा मतलब again like he's mentally disbalanced. I won't even call it trauma. But this guy is like उसको अब्यूज होता है घर में, ये होता है वो होता है, बट अभी वो मेंटली सेन नहीं है. जब वो मेंटली सेन होगा और वो तब कैसे रिएक्ट करेगा, दैट्स व्हाट आई वांट टू सी. लाइक व्हाट हैपेंस टू हिम व्हेन ही बिकम्स like when his like illness is treated properly, and then what happens of his trauma then, because this guy is beaten up, like you know hunter से मार पड़ती है उसको, इतना कुछ होता है जैसे ऐसे जैसे 90s मूवी 70s मूवी में मार पड़ती थी हीरो को वैसे. मेंटल हेल्थ क्या है इनके लिए? मेंटल हेल्थ है कि उसको पागल बना दो. पागल बनाना बड़ा आसान है इंडिया में. अपेरेंटली आपको कोई दवाई मिलती है जो आप किसी को गोल गोल के पिलाते रहो एंड दे बिकम पागल.
हाँ, आप उसको दिन भर रात भर वो दवाई देते रहो और वो पागल एक्ट करता रहेगा, बिकॉज
लाइक लिटरली. और उसके घर में उसके 50 लोग रहते हैं.
अरे इनके पास वो सच बोलने वाली मेडिसिन भी होती है जो लोग सच बोलते हैं.
अरे पर हाँ, वो चलो एक बार पिला दिया. हाउ डू यू कंसिस्टेंटली रोज रोज तुम कैसे किसी को दे रहे हो? और उसके घर में 50 लोग रहते हैं. उस 50 लोग में 20 लोग अगेंस्ट है, ठीक है, सबको प्रॉपर्टी चाहिए. बाकी जो लोग हैं दे आर न्यूट्रल और दे केयर फॉर दिस गाय. उनको भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि इसके खाने में कोई दवाई मिला के इसको रोज खिलाया पिलाया जा रहा है. नोबडी इज चेकिंग, नोबडी इज बॉदरिंग टू फाइंड आउट कि ये पागल मतलब व्हाट इज दिस गाय ईटिंग. मतलब यही है पागल बनाने का, यही एक तरीका है. ये तो ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड है. लाइक कभी भी इनको हीरो को ऐसे दिखाना हो ना, लाइक एक्टिंग रेंज दिखानी है, they did it in like I think they did it in कुमकुम भाग्य as well. Like you know सर पे चोट लग गई थी तो ही गॉट बच्चा बन गया, क्योंकि बच्चा बना दो तो सिंपल है ना. लाइक फिर तो कुछ भी कर सकता है.
चोट लगने से लोग बच्चे कैसे बन जाते?
वो
कंकाशन होता है, सर दर्द होता है, फोटो सेंसिटिविटी हो सकती है, काफी चीजें हो सकती है, लेकिन बच्चा नहीं बन सकता कोई सर पे चोट लगने से.
55 years minimum according to show that guy's age was. His daughters were getting married. He got hit in his head and then he became a kid. So that became a whole plot. क्योंकि हाँ खींचोगे कैसे स्टोरी? How do you show them reunion and fight again? तो शादी करवा दी, शादी के दिन ही सर पे डंडा पड़वा दिया तो वो बच्चा बन गया. So now the wife has to like come in and save him
and be the mommy. Be the mommy. Wife has to be the mommy.
Always be the mommy. Like you know और क्या कर?
और अगर वो mommy नहीं बनी वो अच्छी wife नहीं है.
हाँ. हाँ ये शो था. there was a show called Pia Albela, I think on Z. उसमें the hero was like you know he was shown as a vairagi, like he is beyond the like you know the like the realm, like you know he's always in yoga, he's doing tapasya, he lives like a sadhu, he's ready to donate everything. He comes from a rich you know pandit family, but he's like next level, like he wants to leave the world and become a sadhu or something. तो his whole family is worried कि अरे ये ऐसे करेगा तो who's gonna take care of like who's gonna take care of the next generation, who's gonna take care of the family business. तो क्या business, तुम लोग पंडित ही हो ना, but like he's trying to be a sadhu तो whatever. तो like okay तो this show they start him off as like कोई शायरी करने वाला या कविता लिखने वाला बंदा है, like you know he's feeling for the poor, he's feeling for like ये सब feeling बुद्ध जैसा उसको दिखाया गया था, like he's untouched by everything. So they bring in like a main ka like woman who's like, oh you're a good dancer, you look beautiful, try to you know bring her son back to life or whatever that main ka Vishwamitra story that was they were trying to recreate in the show. तो स्टार्टिंग में ठीक है लाइक यू नो लाइक ओके व्हाटएवर इट्स क्रीपी बट ठीक है ये कर रहे दिस गाय स्लोली लाइक यू नो ही कम्स बैक टू द वर्ल्डी साइड ऑफ लाइक ही स्टार्ट्स टेकिंग हिज रिस्पांसिबिलिटी सीरियसली ये वो. पर ये चलेगा थोड़ी आपका, तो ऑब्वियसली लीप लाना है तो क्या करेंगे, दे डू लाइक सेपरेशन हो गया एंड सडनली दिस गाय हु इज उसका 25 साल से हु हैज बीन नाइस, उसको एक लड़की के छोड़ के जाने से उसको इतना ट्रॉमा हो गया दैट ही बिकम्स एन एब्सोल्यूट एसोल. एब्सोल्यूट पूरा जो इतने साल का जो उसने तपस्या किया, व्हाटएवर हिज लाइक नियम कानून, व्हाटएवर ही फॉलोड, लाइक व्हाटएवर गुडनेस ही हैड इन हिम वाज गॉन जस्ट बिकॉज़ अ गर्ल लेफ्ट हिम. ये इमेजिन ट्रॉमा है. अगर होता नहीं ना तो ये लोग मैन्युफैक्चर कर लेते हैं ट्रॉमा की लड़की छोड़ के जाएगी तो ट्रॉमा तो हो ही जाएगा. तो दैट गिव्स हिम वही जो मीत का जो सीन है ना, लाइक ही इज फाइन अदरवाइज, लड़की छोड़ के गई तो suddenly he becomes this arrogant hero. तो वही
and he mistreats everybody because लड़की छोड़ के गई.
लड़की छोड़ के गई तो क्या है भाई, तुम पहला इंसान है, तुम्हारा ब्रेकअप हुआ है, और अगर सिर्फ उस लड़की के अगेंस्ट भी नहीं, he just became like a ruthless businessman who is tearing down like झोपड़पट्टी and all that. He's tearing. तो वही इंसान है ना. मैं तेरे को I didn't watch it. अगर तेरे को मैंने 100 एपिसोड पहले देखा था, तू पूजा वो करता था, तू पंछी को खाना खिलाता, तू बच्चों को कंधे पे उठा के घुमाता. I used to see क्या हो गया. टॉक्सिक वो लोग कभी भी डाल सकते, जरूरी नहीं स्टार्टिंग से आप टॉक्सिक हो. इनको डालने के लिए
the problem isn't that कि ये लिखते हैं. The problem fatigue हो गया है यार. You can literally know fatigue हो रहा है. एक ही प्लॉट बार बार 50 साल तक आप प्लॉट ही नहीं चेंज कर पा रहे हो. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? मतलब प्लॉट नहीं चेंज कर पा रहे हो, दैट मीन्स ये फॉर्मूला है. अगर ये प्लॉट नहीं लिखोगे शो चलेगा नहीं. ऑडियंस चेंज हो चुकी है. डू यू रियलाइज दैट?
I still don't know. Like मैंने तो I don't even need to watch like Ashikana. Everybody's like हाँ देखो. तो like
we couldn't watch it beyond 7 or 8 episodes. After that, just couldn't watch it. Just could not watch it. So we stopped reviewing it. We were reviewing it every week. I stopped watching it because we just can't take it.
It's really unpalatable. It's really unpalatable. Like all these shows, like they age so badly. Us time pe, even if somebody is watching, they can watch. But like looking back, if you ask somebody, अभी बैठ के इस प्यार को क्या नाम, इस प्यार को क्यों बोल रही हो, ये शो देखो, and they'll hate ASR. Nothing will save him. No charm, nothing.
No chance. The character of ASR is actually a chauvinist. He's not only a chauvinist, but he's arrogant, he's mean, he's totally villainous because he married somebody by blackmailing them. That's not good. I mean, whatever the reason was, he had no right.
It's always to save they'll never be like, oh, मैं प्यार में ऐसे. They'll be like, he's a good guy because, he married because इसको अपने family को बचा. Like some sister of his would be married to this creep.
What do you mean family को बचाना है? तुम कौन हो family को बचाने? Family को बचाने के चक्कर में किसी और की family खराब करो, किसी और की life खराब करो, उसका क्या? How selfish are you? How selfish are you? ये angle किसी ने क्यों नहीं सोचा?
इनका रिडेम्पशन जो होता है ना, जो वो लोग कहते हैं कि आके चेंज कर देगी, कोई चेंज नहीं होता. 2 दिन में 2 एपिसोड में इनका रिडेम्पशन हो जाता है. because when it's just like it happens that they realize कि ये लड़की, she almost sacrificed his life to save me and save my family, and that's it. That's the small thing they need. They come and say, oh, I'm sorry, like that one sorry, and the girl is already in love with him by this point. It's never कि नहीं, I'm going to hold you accountable.
I have some self-respect.
So like if you're sorry, then release me from this marriage. No, it's always like, oh, वो दो, ये अब ज्यादा 5 एपिसोड में they are back. पूरा तुमने जो मेरे को 100 एपिसोड का जो तुमने मुझे ट्रॉमा दिया है, इसका जबरदस्ती और इसका फोर्सफुलनेस दिखा के, that is just gone in like 5 episodes में everybody is happy, everybody is forgiven. And it takes like a snap for him to go back to his toxic behavior and accuse her of like cheating him, the child being pregnant with someone else's child, and like killing his child on purpose. Like कुछ भी उटपटा गुलुल accusation लगाने के लिए their trauma immediately back आ जाता है. अरे उसने इसलिए किया because उसका बचपन का trauma था ना, तो उसका trauma trigger हो गया, तो he is allowed to do all this.
Anyways, ये कहानी तो चलती रहेगी इंडियन सीरियल्स में, हिंदी सीरियल्स में, बिकॉज इनके पास है ही नहीं और कुछ लिखने के लिए, और इतना सेंसलेस लग रहा है अब हम लोगों को, बिकॉज बस हम भी बड़े हो गए. यू नो व्हाट आई मीन? बहुत ज्यादा ड्रामा हो चुका. Change the story.
Change it, bro. Change it. Like why can't boys brought up by single mother be more sensitive? Because in real life, such boys, such men are more sensitive to women. They will never disrespect a woman.
Somebody who loves their mother a lot can never disrespect another woman.
Somebody who loves their mother,
the story is wrong. The characterization of the person is wrong.
Yeah. Like you cannot alpha male is not equal to someone like who just like has like, stands up like, oh,